Hi, and welcome to Retirement This Week. I'm Mark Gaffney, and I'm absolutely enthralled to have our guest today. His name is Jorge Villar. He's the Senior VP at LeadingResponse, arguably the #1 marketing company out there today for financial advisors. And we're going to be discussing this brand new world that we live in. In fact, we both live in the state of Florida, George, and the governor has said that we must shelter in place, or whatever the latest euphemism is. So we're actually talking today from our respective homes, and we are going to put out so much great information today. George, by the way, thank you for being on the program.
Thank you. Always great to talk to advisors. In this type of format, we're all learning new ways, and hopefully today we're an example of what everybody should be doing, communicating with their clients and prospects.
Yeah, and I know that you have a bunch of these webinars coming up with multiple companies across the country. So I'm going to just start out by saying, what are you hearing right now? What is the environment out there for clients, prospects, folks that are saying, hey, I love the way that LeadingResponse did our seminars. Is there something that we could do now to drive those folks to webinars?
Well, there's obviously a lot of noise going around, the confusion, and people are scrambling. And with the marketing companies like us with a lot of experience, what we're doing is trying to organize everything. It's too fragmented out there. The FMOs are saying things to the advisors. The advisors are listening to friends of theirs. They're frustrated being at home. They're trying to get out there too fast. They're not organized. I've seen a couple of webinars and, the lackluster. They weren't prepared. So what we're trying to do is calm everybody down and say, look, let's break down who you're trying to reach, whether it be clients or new prospects. And we're putting things together, Mark, to give them some kind of organized methodology to get out there, because there's a lot of advisors that are going to go online now. So you have a lot more competition because it's more affordable. So what we're hearing is everybody wants to do it, and there's a lot of mistakes being made. So the ones that do it correctly are going to win out.
So what we're hearing right now, George, and we have a whole bunch of advisor clients, is that they want to know, is there a turnkey solution? Am I going to be able to hire one company and do it A to Z, meaning they'll do the full prospecting for us, they'll build the RSVP list, people can either phone in or they can register digitally, you'll set up the webinar for them, you'll instruct them how to use your webinar platform, all of those great amenities that people have come to know through the years with LeadingResponse.
Well, we're trying to make things as easy as it were when we were doing the offline events, the live events. There's certain things that need to be organized properly. And, when you communicate with that guarded audience of 50 years and older, they're a little frustrated being at home right now. So, your message has to be very clear. It's got to make it very easy for them to attend. And like I said, the easier the process, the more advisors will use it. And also the technical difficulties that some senior 50-plus-year-old individuals have, you don't want to cause any problem on them logging on to watching a webinar or listening to a town hall a phone call. It's got to be very easy. They're not used to the technology, like many advisors aren't either. So we have to create, and we'll talk about it later, some very easy to use technology for them to be able to do very good online presentations.
The other question I'm being asked a lot, George, is LeadingResponse ready now? Can I engage them now? And in addition to webinars, what other services are being offered in this new normal so that we can generate prospects in the pipeline? And let me just back up for one moment here. What we're telling our clients is the following. There are 4 things that they need to do right now. Number 1 is they need to be communicating with their clients. Client retention is going to be key. Number 2, and perhaps equally as important, is we must keep prospecting. We cannot let 90 or 120 days go by without bringing new blood into the firm. Then number 3 is we need to hit the ground running, and I'm going to want you to address that, because at some point, the world's going to get back to normal in meeting in venues to have our live events. And then lastly, are our companies, meaning our respective small businesses, advisory firms, going to be able to collaborate digitally with our teams, with our prospects, and with our clients? Now, that being said, what other things, because right now, one of the things you and I had the opportunity to talk about before we got started today is that you might have a database of folks from old seminars, and now is the time to reestablish communication with them.
Well, there's things you should be doing now during the crisis to contact anybody who you've spoken to before, whether it be your clients or some prospects that were in your pipeline. This is the time to use this type of technology to do your own events, to reach out to those people. Listen, they might bring friends along now more than ever. You can ask them to bring other people that can dial in and watch the webinar, because now more than ever, you can call friends and go, listen, my advisor is about to do something. Give us an update. Do you want, there's no going to the event. It's easier now. So what are you doing now? Then, Mark, you and I have been talking about this. You have to plan. A lot of hotels and resorts and airlines are going out there right now with the message saying, hey, in July or June, we can start doing some things. People have to plan those things now. So there's a now, take care of immediacy. But what are you doing for later when things start reaching those normal levels again? You better be ahead of your competition. Now, as far as the products, it's a couple things. The solutions that we're providing are email, triggered by email to get response to your webinars, email, to your database of responders in the past, if you have a seminar list, to your database now that you have emails for. That's an email communication to get them to drive to your webinars. The second thing we're using, obviously, is targeted direct mail. So you have to give us a little time to get an invitation out for your webinar. And then Facebook ads. Those are the three vehicles, the solutions that we're using to drive prospects to your online events. And importantly, you have to understand how to use the technology to reach those type of audiences. And like I said, we can do a combination of all three solutions. We also have some other digital products that we can use to enhance the experience, like digital ads that we can send to people's computers and laptops and cell phones to let them know a webinar is forthcoming or to brand you a little bit. Multitude of solutions to get people to watch your online events. But you're gonna have to be organized. You have to work with us in advance to put everything together and see which solution fits you better. I would recommend using a mix of all of them because there's different audiences that respond differently.
So George, it sounds complicated, and I know that it isn't, but I want to take these in little bits and chunks right now. Here's what we're hearing. I'm ready to get moving with a webinar. How long from the time I greenlight the project or start working with a rep over at LeadingResponse and I say go till I have my webinar?
There'll be a process of 3 or 4 days to plan everything, to make sure you have everything online, little rehearsal, make sure you're used to the technology. 5, 7 days later, we can start promoting it. And obviously you have a 3-day period people to register.
It's quite amazing. So we can turn it around a lot faster than targeted direct mail, but we don't want to forget about targeted direct mail. So if you have another set of events that you're going to be doing 4 to 6 weeks out, I believe we should be augmenting our digital marketing with targeted direct mail in the mailbox as well. Do you agree with that?
Again, the combination of the possible solutions that you can mix in are targeted direct mail, Facebook ads, and email. Those are the 3 vehicles. However you want to use them, our consultants will go with each one of them to get to an audience of 5,000 to 7,000 for new client acquisition purposes. Obviously, if you have your own database, we could also mix it in and try to get that whole mix delivery to the audience so they can log on. And again, we're using online events, and we'll talk about our product, a new product that we're launching actually tomorrow, April 2nd, called Webinar Connect, which is the actual vehicle, the turnkey vehicle, where we will do everything for you. All you have to do is give us the dates that you want to be online, maybe a Tuesday and a Thursday, just like the old, offline events. And we will do everything possible. We'll give you the recommendations to coordinate that for you so you can have a positive outcome.
So I'm not going to ask you to give me price points right now because that's really something that you need to go over with your representative there and all the different products. But one of the things that I thought was interesting, and I thank you for giving me an opportunity to peruse through the research and development, the price points that you were putting together, is that you are putting some sort of guarantee with that. We will guarantee you X amount of people at your webinar. Could you take a minute and talk about that?
Yeah, so being that it's turnkey, that we're going to do everything for you, we have enough data gathered through the years of attendance and what are the analytics and logistics of delivering the messages and getting people to respond. As you know, we have a very sophisticated portal technology that sits behind our invitation program, where we actually monitor and track everybody who's calling in. So that data is being utilized. It might be a little different inviting people to an online event versus the offline events, but I think there's going to be similarities. So we have to make sure that we capture all that information when people are calling in. So we're going to have to tell you to do certain things. And if you follow the path, the best practices, we are willing to guarantee responders to your webinar events, to your online presentation, just as we did with the offline. There's formulas that need to be followed. There's steps that need to be put in front of you. And if you agree to all of them, we have a guarantee. If you don't want to guarantee, you want to do some things on your own, we can still do the campaigns for you. So you have a choice.
So listen, and I'm already seeing this right now on Facebook and digitally. Every mom and pop shop, 2-person business out of their home is jumping into the arena saying, I can put a webinar together for you. I can do all the this, that, digital, this and that. And quite frankly, for most advisors, George, they're not tech experts. They're not experts in the world of social media marketing, digital marketing. And quite frankly, with a few buzzwords, these little tiny companies working out of their houses are, not, in my opinion, delivering the value necessary for advisors to host an appropriate webinar. Why is it different with Leading Response? Okay, 150 people under that roof. You guys have done this for years. You've done it for years in multiple industries. Tell me why I should work with Leading Response.
Well, I'll give you a big tip. There's a plethora of direct mail companies. There's a plethora of Facebook providers. There's a plethora of email servers. Here's what you should ask yourself when you talk to anybody. As it pertains to events, Mr., Mrs., whomever partner you're looking for, what have you done? I think our advantage mark is clear. We've been in the event marketing arena for years and years and years. We've captured data from millions of consumers. We've done over 1 million campaigns. So millions of consumers have responded. We also get a tremendous amount of feedback from the advisors. That data mixed in with the experience that we have in event marketing and the amount of new solutions that we have, both offline and online, we could be the clear choice if you want to partner with somebody for growth and for long term. Remember, it's not just right now. What are you going to be doing the next 6 months to a year to 2 years? We have the longevity and we have a lot of talent. We have digital talent, Mark, that we're generating 300,000 leads a month in different industries. So I think what I would recommend to somebody is when you're talking to a client, look at their size, their depth, and also their financial situation. We're financially a stable company. And that's very important in these times because a lot of people are going to go out of business, right? And if you're working with somebody who's going to be out of business in 2 months because they don't have the volume, or you work with somebody that's working out of their home, 2 people, they're not going to have the resources, Mark, for long term. So the trust that we're asking people to put on us is we have the experience as it pertains to event marketing, more so than anybody else.
Listen, I want to encourage people to call in right now. You probably worked with somebody at Leading Response, and if you haven't read the news, they're formerly Resource Solutions and R&E 360, this incredible new company. George, how can people get in contact with you? And I want to talk about a bonus right now that if they call in, they're going to get, or email you directly, you have this really wonderful top 10 things you need to do right now. Dare I call it a coronavirus survival kit from Leading Response for advisors and marketing right now.
Yeah, we have the Webinar Connect program, that we're launching tomorrow. So anybody who emails me, we will get that information. We have a little mini website and some landing pages that are going to be very informative. We're also going to be doing a lot of webinars with the actual Webinar Connect product. Again, this Webinar Connect product is a do-it-for-you process where we can take all the technology away from you, all the worries and concerns. We'll handle everything for you. So go to our website, LeadingResponse.com. You can call our office and talk to many of our consultants about your needs, 800-795-2773. You can email me directly if you want to chat. George V is Jorge, George V at LeadingResponse.com. I'm doing a lot of one-on-one consultations. I want to calm the concerns. And again, there's a lot of options right now. Please call us. We want to talk to our advisors. Consulting and the dialogue that we create with advisors is very important because we can help you and hold your hand and teach you what we're doing. But the Webinar Connect product line will be launched tomorrow, April 2nd. It's going to go out all over the country. You're going to see it in a lot of websites, LinkedIn, Facebook. We're using all the vehicles that we're recommending you to use. We are using them for our promotion. So Webinar Connect is going to be launched. You're going to get a lot of materials, samples of the email layouts, the direct mail invitation, the Facebook ads. We'll make sure that you understand it very clearly.
You know, George, I want to say a couple things because obviously we're blasting this out to our entire MEG client database. I am going to be doing their Webinar Connect. I'm going to be able to talk to all of our clients on how easy it was, how, smart investment leads to great ROI, all of the different steps inside that. I look forward, George, to working with you. And just a final note before I let you go, thanks for being on this program. And if you don't know Jorge Villar, you might have been under a rock for the last 25 years, but he has created more financial advisor millionaires through marketing than any other individual company, on the planet. When Jorge Villar talks, people in the financial services industry listen. George, thank you so much for being on the program. Hey, could I have you on again soon?
Listen, obviously, we're all waiting to see what all this turns out to be. We're going to have a lot of data in 1 to 2 months from now. So it's going to become more valuable to talk to us then, because we're going to gather a lot more information in this new era of communication with these online presentations. Listen, this is going to stay with us forever. They're going to be offline and online presentations for the next 20 years. And you talked to me about this. The opportunity that's coming around the corner, if you're prepared, there's millions of people that are going to be more motivated than ever to fix their financial matters. And you have to be in front of your competition. So great opportunity for you to get ahead of everybody and start anew, because it's going to be a big wave of prospects that need your help and your advice.
Jorge Villar, thank you so much. Hey, thanks so much for tuning into Retirement this week. Keep an eye out. We're going to be putting a great show, Q&A, wonderful advisors, thought leaders in the marketing industry out every week. Join us on Facebook. Join us on LinkedIn for more information. Make it a great day.
Stay safe. Thank you.